Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So in this video, we're going to be looking at a moneymaker which I thought was going to be lost for a long time. So in this video, we're going to go and cover Hydrix and Onyx bolt fletching. Now over the past couple of months, the prices of both the Ascension bolt, Hydrix bolt tip and Onyx bolt tip have gone incredibly high to the point that I thought it was no longer worth doing these bolts. Now these bolts have been a really good method for 7-day bond, and it's been a way to make a substantial amount of cash per hour. These methods can go up to sort of 12, 13, 14 mil per hour, but at the minute, the Hydrix bolts are going to be roughly around 9 mil per hour profit, and the Onyx bolt is going to be 8.5 mil. Now, to do this method, there are a couple of requirements, there are a couple of things you need. To start with, you're going to need a decent amount to start to cash. To buy the supplies for these bolts, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 10k, you're going to need a couple mil for it. To buy the materials for an Onyx bolt, you're going to be roughly looking about 7.5k per bolt, so for every 1,000, 7.5 mil. An Onyx bolt's probably going to be about 8.5, maybe even a bit more, and we'll check the prices when we go there as well. So you're going to need a decent amount of cash to start, because you will make these bolts really quickly. So along with the starter cash, there are always some items which are going to make your, especially artisan skills and ones you can use on a portable a little bit better. We're going to be using the Brooch of the Gods, which is an item you can buy to enhance the proc ability of the portables. This is probably one of the methods where you can pay your brooch off quite quickly. This and Herblore would pretty much pay the brooch off pretty consistently to 99 with one of the skills. So if we go to the bank real quick, so the Brooch of the God is very important. The portable Fletcher, we're going to go and do this on World 84. And along with the portable Fletcher, it's going to be the Ranger's Workroom. Now the Ranger's Workroom is one of the Vorkath quests, but basically what it does is it gives you a chance to make extra ammunition, along with the brooch, along with the portable Fletcher, and along with the Fletching cape if you do have 99 Fletching. Now 99 Fletching isn't a given, but if you do have it, where the cape is, that gives you a chance to make extra ammo. Basically, this is going to be one of those methods where all your procs and all your perks to make extra ammo is where you're going to be making the money from. If you're going to make it just purely from buying the supplies and not use anything like the portables or the items I suggest, you will lose money. This method purely relies on all the extra procs, all the extra perks to create more bolts for you. That is where your profit's going to be from, because all the extra ammo we're going to make is going to be 8k per bolt. And then all that soon racks up once you make a decent amount. Now, for the benefit of this video, we're going to do a 5,000 sample because I think that's a lot more than 1k. 1k, there's not enough chance to have the procs and stuff, just to show you guys a true reflection of what you could get. So the items we're going to have is the Brooch of a God. Also, if you want a little bit of XP bonus, you can get the Fletcher's outfit as well, which we do have there. And then, like I said before, the Fletching cape as well does give you a bonus. Now, I'm going to get set up. I'm going to buy the items on the Grand Exchange, and we'll then jump over to the World 84 on the Ranger's Workroom. So now I've actually checked the prices just to make sure they kind of line up with where they need to be. And as you can see here, to instant buy items, you are going to spend a couple more 100 GP at a time. So my suggestion would always be to slow buy these items because they will save you some money, and then slow sell the items because it will make you more money. So as you can see, just the bolt tip alone is over 1,500 coins more than the actual bolt afterwards. And that's without actually having to buy a rune bolt. So you can see here, just from making them without any buffs and stuff, you will lose money. So what I'm going to go and do is pretty much buy everything needed for fletching. The Ascension bolts really have crashed quite a lot. They are pretty much about 300 GP under the mid price as well. So they are absolutely going down. And then also the prices of the bolt tips as well have significantly gone up. I'm just going to buy 5,000 at the instant buy, because then if you bought it at a slow buy, you will only make more money than what I'm going to show you guys. So I'm going to show you guys the bare minimum of what you can make per hour. So what I'm going to go and do, buy 5,000 of each of the supplies, meet you at the Ranger's Workroom on World 84, and we'll have a little bit of a talk through of what the supplies cost, all the other stuff as well, and then I'll just go away, fletch the 5,000 of each bolts, and then talk you guys through how we've done, what we've made, and all the other stuff as well, to show you guys that this is still a valid method, one which is going to need a lot of attention to with price and stuff, but as a base limit, if these items don't sell for the price you want, these are fantastic ways to supply your auto alkers. Now, with the price of what the bolt tips went to for a while, they were not worth putting into an auto alker because basically they were too expensive. Now they've reined in a little bit, it might be a chance to do it as well. But if the Grand Exchange sells more than the auto alk price, we will sell them on the Grand Exchange. So that was what made fletching so good. If you wanted a auto alker sort of method or item to make profits from, and you could go and get some XP and some GP as well, that is always a benefit of this method. You will supply your own auto alkers and make profit at the same time. But without further ado, I'm going to go buy the 5,000. rush through going to the Rangers workroom, and then we'll talk through XP rates and all the other stuff while we just go and fletch along. So once you get to the Rangers workroom, which is this part of Fort Room 3, this is going to require Dead and Buried to be able to have it, but anything relating to the Warcraft storyline is very much worthwhile going because it just means you extend your fort, you have new skilling areas, and it's generally worth doing anyway. So with that, you get the Rangers workroom, and that's what's going to give you an extra proc. And as you can see by my game interface here, you will see the amount of times that the portable Fletcher, the brooch for gods, the Fletching cape, as well as the Rangers workroom will proc extra ammo. So again, we've gone for the 5,000 of each supply, and then we'll see what we end on towards the end of this video. Now let's talk about XP. So even though these are going to be methods which bring in roughly about 9 mil each in terms of GP per hour, they are actually pretty decent XP as well. Now the Onyx bolts is going to require level 73 fletching to do, and it's going to be 188k per hour. And then the Incendiary bolts, which is going to be the Hydrix bolt tip and the Ascension bolt, is going to be 80 fletching and bring in 212k XP per hour. So they are very decent in terms of XP, but pretty decent in terms of AFK as well. I've done this method before while like working or editing, and it's one of those where you can just click it once every 60 interactions and you let your character sort of spam out his actions and see how it gets on. Now, as you can see here, we have made 600 bolts, but we saved roughly about 140 bolt tips. And with those bolt tips being about 9k each, that's over a mil we've saved again just from these procs. You can see here the Rangers workroom is a slightly different colour, same as the Fletching cape as well. And what the Rangers workroom 2 is going to give you is a 1% chance to fletch an extra bundle of range ammo or headless arrows in the workroom. That, on top of the brooch, on top of the portable Fletcher and the Fletching cape, is what adds into the extra GP. So between those four, that's going to be a really good solid way to make some money. Again, with the brooch, you'll get the blessings as well. Now, what I would say is the brooch is a very costly investment, and one which will definitely sort of affect how much profit you're going to make. Without the brooch for gods, you will actually lose money with this method. Now, a lot of the time when I do these kind of videos, when we do money making methods, especially on ones with portables, the brooch is always used because it's going to make you so much more money. And a lot of people will always ask the question of, is the brooch worth getting? And in my opinion, the brooch really is going to be 20-ish hours of this method. And especially if you're going to use this method to train to 99, which won't be the quickest method you're ever going to do, but will definitely like be speed and can be AFK because you're doing 60 interactions at a time. I believe it's worth buying. I truly believe that the brooch, if you're going to do enough portable skills, will pay for itself multiple times over in your sort of entire skilling time in RuneScape as well. So it's definitely an item I'd go after, whether you want to go and buy it yourself, make the GP somewhere else, or actually go and make it through doing Reaper and all that stuff as well. But brooch really is that item which will make you so much money. And I think the earlier you get it and invest in it, the more it's going to pay out because you are going to use these portable methods to get your levels up. So what I'm going to do is finish the 5,000 of each, and then we'll come back, wrap the video up, and then we'll talk through what we've made in terms of GP and whether it's worth it. But as you can see here, the Fletching cape actually came through. I've been waiting for it to appear. It's such a slim chance of doing it, but again, it's something you can wear along with the others and will always sort of proc as well. But going to go and do these bolts now. We'll come back and we'll report through and we'll show you guys just how much we've made from all of these bolts. So there we go, both sets of bolts done, and to be fair, there was only 40 bolts in it, so very close in terms of what we've got for both. So what we're going to do now is go to a grand exchange. I'm going to quickly work out how much we spent for each bolt supply, and then we can see if we've actually made some money. Now, what the wiki sort of based the GP per hour on is for you to make 20,000 bolts per hour, which is times 4 of what I've currently made. So any profit we've made per set of bolts, we'll times it by 4 just to give you guys a rough guess of what you're going to make per hour. I'm still thinking it's going to be roughly around the 8.5 to 9 mil the wiki said, but let's just back the numbers up and just have a check. And like I said before, if you wanted to, you could more than happily throw everything into your auto hackers and possibly make a little bit more money. I just think at the minute they're a little bit higher than their out price in terms of what's the mid price of Grand Exchange. So we'll check that out, and then yes, we'll come back and report back on the prices. So from adding those prices up, so the Hydrix bolts in terms of the supplies are going to come in for a total of 52 mil 750k, and the Onyx bolts are going to come in at 44 mil and 650k. So if we just go from pure like Grand Exchange price, let's go and compare the two. So Onyx bolts are going to be the 44.6 mil, and they're going to come in at a price of 50.4. So I would say at the minute the Onyx bolts are a little bit under mid. So even though we've made roughly about 6 mil profit, I don't think they're going to work out to be 24 mil profit. I would work it more about 4 mil profit from this, because they were selling roughly about 7.2k a little bit earlier on. But just to show you guys the proper numbers, let's just check it what we sold it at earlier on, 7,250. And if we were going to go and check that with the Grand Exchange, 7,250, that's going to come in at 47.2 mil. So you're roughly going to make about 2.5 to 3 mil for every 15 minutes. Times that by 4, it's going to be about the 10 to 12 mil profit. A little bit more than what the wiki said, but again, it might have just been RNG, but I think that'd be pretty consistent. I think the sort of like 9 to 10 mil per hour the wiki says is about right. And then finally, the Hydrix bolts. So the Hydrix bolts were 52,750. And if we have a look at that, we're currently at a price of 59.1 mil. So that again is going to roughly be about 6.4 mil profit. I'm just going to check the price of the bolts really quickly. It's the Ascendry bolt. If we were going to buy that, is it above mid price? If it is, it just means it's going to be more money. And I would check as well, like between the two of these, if any of these are up in price. If they're above mid, those are the ones I would focus on. We actually have bought that a little bit above mid, so that's 9.5k. So there's definitely more profits in there as well. Now, what I've done here is check the price for nature rune, because you're going to need that to actually put them into your machines. Nature runes are incredibly cheap at the minute, so you could definitely make some more money with alking. So the out prices are the Ascendry bolt is going to be 10.2k. And for the sake of 400 GP, you will make a little bit more throwing that into your auto alka. Same with the Onyx bolt, that's going to be 8.179, such a random number for an alk. But in terms of the price, you'll be making a little bit more on top of the Grand Exchange mid price once you've thrown on that nature rune. It's going to be about 300 to 400 GP each extra you're going to make. But the auto alka can be alking these like when you're not logged in, during the week, and you will make a little bit more passive AFK GP as well. So again, very, very good method. They are both back. They had a little while where they weren't sort of viable because they were just so expensive. The Ascendry bolts, especially because the Ascension bolt has come down so much, that's what's made these back being profitable. With the Onyx one, the bolt tip's gone down and leveled out a little bit, which has helped as well. So yeah, really, really good. Surprised the Ascendry bolt is 500 GP over mid. So if it was me, I would focus on this, but you do have buy limits. Buy limits will hold you back a bit, so it might be actually worth working between both sets, just so you can go past that buy limit and keep fletching. But again, one of the best fletching methods is back, just in time for 7-day bond to make his little reappearance as well. But that is going to be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, we're going to start to be a bit more consistent with the RS3 moneymakers. I've got a nice big plan of content coming forward for the next couple of weeks, and basically to the end of the year as well. But if there's anything you guys want to see, especially any guides, any videos, any money making methods, drop in them comments. I'll always make sure to jump on them as well. 2 new series coming out as well over the next couple of weeks. We'll have the return of 7-day bond, and also escaping free to play will also be coming to try its 2-week bonding members as well. So hope you guys looking forward to it. If you are, drop me a subscription. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.